Flattered British, Martin speaking. Welcome, people. Hope all is well. Just check my shit's coming through, if you don't mind. Indeed. So, welcome, people. Welcome on Saturday. We see you all. Hi, Fruity. Hi, Sweetness. Hi, Texan people. Mary Billings. Hi, Squirrel. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do here. No, God, I don't have cut up work for myself, guys. What am I thinking? Right, if you can see the title to my video, it says the greatest story never told. So what I'm going to do, it's a bit presumptuous of me, I know, but I'm going to try and explain a small segment of the real history, if that's even possible, through discern it for yourself. I'll give you the evidence. It's stuff that I have accumulated over a period of time that is sort of, if I'm honest, this, if you were about to read a novel, guys, this would be the introduction bit, okay? So this is the precursor for something that is to come, which I don't even want to utter. It's like that. But this will be interesting, guys. This will be interesting, okay? Is Prussian history in there? Yeah, funny you should say all histories are in your squirrel. Now this story, I'll tell you what will happen here before I get underway, because all of this will relying on A, my concentration, B, keeping an eye on the show, not being disturbed because I really want to get this information out, and a precursor, as I said, to what's to come. Now I will try and do a vlog tomorrow to cover the bits that are missed, which I certainly will miss in all what I'm going to try and present. Now this story will start in 1607. 1607, okay, guys? Now, in my mind, this is several hundred years after Noah's flood, okay, in my mind. So we have got on our feet. There are different groups, good people, the people of the land, and the bad people. People who join clubs to make big gangs, get armed, and get busy. Okay, doing the old suppression. Now, the reason I'm starting at 1607 is it was a big clue, and it's been there since early on, but I didn't really dig in deep enough until recently, and I think it's a massive clue, guys, and coupled with something else, a really big surprise in the whole story. Now, this is laced, this story, with massive coincidence. If you follow my channel or the story that's been ongoing I am told you, Angus Fitzsimmons, peace and love, my brother, and you, Andy's good video earlier. He's a total asshole, that guy. Talking of total assholes, there's been a few of them today. But anyway, don't want to digress too much. Concentration. Now, a really strange thing has happened also with this story is I've been juggling in my mind with this. I've been doing a lot of research into the origins and the sources of the history rewriters, or the Dutch history rewriters, which I'll show you a little bit about now. Now, these ships that are showing, hi Mary, in the lead atlases of 1733, which could be completely hoaxed, but not, because in my research, I find in my research that the 1733 lead Van der Haar atlases have been collected by very famous Lietkes. One of them, a curator in the Metropolitan Museum in New York, who was on a fatal train crash in New York in 2015. Okay, Mr. Liedtke 1. Another collector of the very same lead atlases, a Jacques Liedtke, he crashes his car and dies in 2002. Unusual circumstances, all tied in with these lead atlases. Now, what is going on with the lead atlases? Well, A, they're priceless, and B, they show an alternative history. They show a fleet that shows Dutch colours, but other colours, a anomalous mercenary army. They show up all over the plane, guys, from the Americas to Asia to mostly in what I will show you, hopefully, in this vlog, is the eradication of Tartaria, which is the entire Asian continent, which is like a really cool, egalitarian, brilliant society, which I will show you, which gets basically, they arrive. This is the cool bit about all of this, guys. The Dutch, they arrived the fleet. Now, forget about the story, the official narrative of the Dutch East India program and everything else. Let's just put that aside and go with this Martin narrative. The fleet turns up, the ambassador, the Dutch ambassador, goes to, say, Peking in this example, and he takes gifts. Now, what gifts does he take? When he takes silks, rubies, gold, and a big fuck off globe. And he pushes in his globes on these people, and they don't want them. And then what you find is they do a payoff to the people in charge, and the next thing you know is they're torturing everybody's ass into believing in the globe. Plain white, don't you know? Only 400 years ago. This story will start in 1607. Hi, Captain Kirk. Yeah, he's a bit of a cock. I'm not going to give him an advert, Kirk. Thanks for bringing his attention. He said, I'm going to make a video about you in my comments. I said, actually, I'm not going to be giving you publicity. I'm in a war year. I'm not dealing with pussies. And he attacked the Welsh. Fuck him. Fuck them all, in fact. I'm not bothered with trolls, guys. I'm not wasting my life, right? It's like there's only two people, two sorts that believe in the fucking globe at this stage. Children and trolls. No one else, okay? Really annoying. But anyway, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. It's too silly for words and superficial. If you don't know what I'm on about, some weird globe guy made a rebuttal video about one of my videos to do with Voyager. I don't even touch upon like NASA bullshit very much. It's boring. Anyway, it is, guys. It's boring as assholes, and I can't stand the sight of them. Not one of them. That's just me, though. All right, but I've got a problem with establishment of teachers and the like. I fucking hate them all. Anyway, hate. We're going to get rid of that word. I disagree with them all. That's better. Less impact with the old linguists. We got to watch what we say. Free Martin, our family. Yeah, free the Martin 3. Yeah, trolls bite. I can't be bothered, Edna. It's just a waste of time, darling. What are they doing, really? It's all about ego, isn't it? Well, not. You've got to be able to be proud enough to humble yourself, and they're not going to play that game. They're just going to be bullshit. Their entire existence. The last person that turns their back on God, and that would be fucking it. Bam. I'm telling you now. Keep on spitting in the face of love and see where it ends us up. That's what my advice is. Right. Especially for these trolls who think they're fucking clever. Now, we're going to dig in. Now, this story is going to go weird, guys. Honestly, it's going to get really strange. I'm going to try my best to elaborate. And you want to keep an eye on chat. Got enough mods there. What's going to happen here is 1607, Welsh tsunami, the British tsunami, came up the Bristol Channel. I talked about it. When you try to research it, boy, is it limited. What you do find out is it wipes out a generation. I mean, a generation never recovered for 50 years. Where did all the people go? Well, I'll tell you where some of them went, guys. You're not going to believe this. On the Mayflower. And more than that, guess who else is on the Mayflower? A lead. A lead. I think it's the grandfather of the guy who made the lead Van der Atlases, by the way. I can't verify that because I've got the family tree. It's the same name. Now, Leid from Leiden in Holland could be the University of Leiden, could be as common as, say, Smith. But I find it a massive coincidence that my name is Liedtke, and these Liedtkes collect the lead atlases. The lead atlases collection is in my possession, and what they have is a history of suppressions of humanity, pushing the globe on them, and if they don't want it, torturing their ass. And I don't mean in nice ways, guys, in ways that are similar and replicated. And it's fucking terrible. There's a lot of cooking going on, and there's a lot of eating people going on. This is what they bring with them and pushing this globe on them. I've got endless evidence for this, guys. This is the way it went fucking down. They pushed and tortured people into believing the globe, guys. And that was only 400 years ago. Okay? All of classical education, Greek classical education, I hear fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson banging on about Aristoteles. But if you asked him to go and dig up a source, do you think he'd be able to? What, clay pot? A bit of an ancient language that's been wrongly translated? These fucking people. Makes my blood boil, guys. Now, I'm going to get underway. I'm going to try and share screen and whiz through as much information as I can, okay? For while my computer holds up and while my brain holds up, okay? So remember what I said. This is the introduction to the greatest story never told. We're going to miss sirens. We're going to miss a few hundred years of when we're struggling in the mud, etc., and the power struggles that went on. And we're going to go straight into 1607 for a big whammy, which could be a complete reset for all at that time after a bigger event than what they're saying. Is it the mud flood? I don't know, guys, because some of the buildings which spoiled mud flood, look like they've been in mud flood, look a lot later. But only we have no evidence of them being built, so we don't know if they're later. So let's just see what we think. What I'd like to do, guys, is just lay it out to see what it sounds like. Because the way it's sounding in my mind is like, oh, for fuck's sake, do I really want to say this? Honestly, I'm just wondering how it'll sound on a vlog. Let's get underway. Now, sit back. Once upon a time, there was a nasty Western power, which is still very much in control, which took over all small duchies and independent states of people, how we lived in the great Tartarian state and pretty much all over the plain. And they brought a new way of control. Do as you're told, I will torture you. And you're living on this ball. All the proof is in this blog, right? We're going to start 1607. Now, all of what you see in here, I will link up, okay, guys? This is a PDF I found concerning the Welsh tsunami. Now, where I'm sitting now came from the west. They say 10 meters. I don't know if it's more. As fast as a speeding racehorse from the west this way, killing thousands and thousands of people, both sides of the Bristol Channel or the River Severn. And the evidence is very sketchy, but there is a big clues. There's many clues in what I'm about to read in all of this. But what I want to try and do is tie it in so it's not all loose. And if I can't, I'll have to do it tomorrow because it's a lot of information. We're going to look at the Mayflower. The Mayflower has got the map makers on it. The people who are rewriting the history, they're taking it to a new land. They're bringing out a new law, a new democracy with this guy leading. It's fucking mind-blowing, guys. I can't even believe what I'm reading. And the Pilgrim Fathers. You got this guy Robinson and the leading congregation, right? This group of people. Now, the story behind this is fucking fascinating. They're looking to move away from these Western powers into a more puritanical, innocent, outside of the Matrix lifestyle. But not like Amish. I mean, just they realize what's going on. And they try to get away from it. It's fucking really interesting, this. Now, the translations, I'll show you a bit of, I got a book concerning the translations. So I'll go through Holland to certain churches, and they are determined by political, religious ideology, as in opposing churches, first and foremost, and altered, changed to suit them. So they're all changed to suit a religious ideology for whichever gang has got hold of the maps. And there's a few of them at the time in Holland. It's a really weird story. And lead atlases. I've got one. I don't know whether it's going to play, but it shows the eradication of Tartaria, but the eastern half Peking, where they come in, You see a lovely society. It's not really based on any Starforts are already there, so we never built them because we're just arriving. Okay, so the Great Wall is there. They're not like an apocalyptic society, but they have got really weird pagan gods. And this, if you were watching my vlogs, they seem to be worshipping a wobbly icon, which looks like a big horn. I think I might have found what that is. It's a whale's knob, a whale's penis they are worshipping, apparently, because they're killing a whale in one of these books, and they're chopping off a wobbly thing that they're all worshipping. Looks like exactly the same thing it is. So that one's solved. They're all worshipping a whale knob. I said it was going to be strange, Fruity. I'll try and do my best. So let me just check before I dig in. Thank you for all popping by on a Saturday, the 18th, the 10th of March, 2018. Also, they say. Hi, Jan. Hi, team. Hi, love. Oh, it's great to see you all. Tim Bourbon. Great. Great to see you all. Sit back, relax. Whatever you're doing, I'm going to try and concentrate if I can, because I read about 4 books yesterday or something. I went absolutely crazy. I had a 15-hour reading session, but my brain was like by the end. This is the end result, guys. I'm coming to you. It's not all that good. Right. What I do need before I start is flameage. That's a definite. Hi, Dina. How you been, babe? Cheeky, fucking brilliant. Oh, that made my day. Cheeky is awesome. Right. It's in my pocket. I'm so shit. Just bear with me, guys. I'm building up here. Lovely to see you, Cheeky, on the scene. I haven't seen you for so long. You've been good, Adina? Still as beautiful as ever? Hmm? We know it. We know it. So, fuck. Ah, Cheeky, sing us a song. Sing us a song live on Flat British. Let's make it a legendary vlog. I tell you, a legendary vlog was Josh, one of my favourite Minnesotians. Joy is one of my favourite Minnesotians. In Minnesota State Building, red pulling everybody that went past. It was absolutely epic. I do love him doing that. Okay, we're going to get underway. Buckle in and I'll try and make sense of what I'm saying. So we're starting at 1607, Martin's story is starting. And I'm going to go on from there. It's going to incorporate the Mayflower, which is in fact not a nice, sweet little humble ship carrying some humble little Quakers at all, pilgrims. It's a big fuck-off gunship with a 150-pounder and more on deck. Now, what are they doing with all that? And a mercenary army. Let's look into it. It's going to get interesting, this, guys. Okay. Dumpty, 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 dum. Sit back and relax. It's story time with Flat Earth British. Okay. Right, what we got here is the 1607 Bristol Channel floods 400 years retrospective. So we're going to have a look and see what it says about it. Okay. And it is from the RMS, so it should be not so bad to read. Okay. Down you come. Okay, what's going on here? Okay. So it is quite expansive, but what it says is big clues. Now, to me, Britain was uninhabitable for a long stage in this time. And clues, the people were clearing out of the country for sure. Now, in 1607, floods occurred just at the emergence of widespread literacy in England. Now, isn't that a coincidence? But before the scientific revolution of the mid-17th century, the year 1607 marked the date of the first permanent English settlement in Jamestown in America. And a number of ships sailed to the New World were held up by stormy weather during the month of January. Shakespeare was still writing and performing, and the King James Bible beginning to be translated and edited. The language of a King James Bible is exactly contemporary with the descriptions of the flood. The style in which the flooding is described is vernacular, freeform, and eloquent. Let us fix our eyes upon these late swellings of outrageous waters, which of late now happened in Divon's part of the realm. Mm. See, at least they know it's a realm, guys. Together with the overflowing of the seas, the divers of the sundry placed thereof, whole fruitful valleys. So valleys. Okay, that's getting high then, isn't it? Being now overwhelmed and drowned with the most unfortunate and unseasonable salt waters. Many men that were rich in the morning, when they rose out of their beds, were made poor by noon the same day. Ah, now, oh God, one thing they don't tell you when you do research this, if you go on YouTube and YouTube the Welsh tsunami, there's only two videos that come up. Mine. There's one more actually, but mine is the only ones on YouTube. It's not unusual, guys. And they say about the unusual lack of evidence. As there were no newspapers at the time, principal accounts reporting the impact of the flood survive in a small number of pamphlets privately printed in London. These original pamphlets, which were reproduced over years with titles like Lamentable News out of Monmouthshire and News of Somersetshire, were sold by printers who also published Shakespeare, operating out of the churchyard of St Paul's in London. Stories emphasised miraculous escape, and all reports were presented within a religious context, using the event to sermonise for the improvement in morality among people. In other words, be good or something's going to come. Sounds familiar. One pamphlet entitled God's Warning to His People of England begins with many are doomed warnings of destruction, which mighty God hath lately scourged this our kingdom with. And many more have threatened tokens of heavy wrath extended towards us. The religious rapping very often seems to have covered the presentation of straight news. So again, what they're doing, like in the Holland literature, they're altering it to fit a religious context, as in, start being good, or this is going to happen. No, I do believe they underemphasized the severity of this flood, guys. You know, I've got loose descriptions, an old version of a pamphlet, but beyond the pamphlets, information of the flooding is supplemented by parish records, including inscriptions on churches and accounts from a small number of contemporary historians and writers. The most detailed information of Singletown is found in the Chronicle of Barnstable, as compiled by Mr. Todd Gray of Exeter University in 1998. The records written between 1586 and 1611 by Barnstable Town Clerk Adam Wyatt. Now, this plaque here is local to me, guys. It's on the side of a very old church. Now, that line there has been put in there at the time. They say that was as high as the floodwaters. Well, you have to look right up. It's right up in the wall, so it's really high. A stone wall of a local church in Peterstone, Wentlock, northwest of Cardiff, marking the height reached by the 1607 Bristol Channel floods of 1.9 metres above ground level, and reading the Great Flood of 20th of January 1606. Okay, date of occurrence. Now this is very interesting, guys. Think of it in the context that there's been a massive event so bad that they had to start all over again and rewrite the literature, the history, and the dates, the calendar. And in fact, guys, that's what's happened. Listen to this. Date of occurrence. While there is agreement among historians' historical records that the event took place at 9 a.m. local time, there has been some confusion to the date of the Bristol Channel floods. which has led to the event being duplicated in historical catalogues. Dates of January the 20th or January the 30th are listed as are years of 1606 and 1607. This confusion lies in the use of the Juliana and Gregorian calendars. At the time of the flood, the actual date was a Tuesday, January the 20th, but as a result of the shift from a Juliana to Gregorian calendar, it is now recognized that the correct modern date is January the 30th. By the mid-16th century, it was becoming recognized that the dates of the religious festivals of Easter and Christmas were drifting relative to the solar year because of the over-comprehension of the 4 leap-year cycle of the Juliana calendar. Do you see what's going on here, guys? Pope Gregory XVI published a decree on February the 24th, 1582, authorizing both a compensatory removal of selected leap years and one of the fucking hell and a one-time correction of the calendar to take it out 10 days, so that October the 15th followed October the 4th in 1582. However, the idea following the decree from Rome was an unpalatable term in England, and they took it until 1752. That later adjustment, guys, to make that adjustment. Shit. Well, this makes everything different. They introduced the Symmetry International, the metric system, etc. Wow. Right on that disaster. The confusion over the years 1606, 1607 lies in the calendar's usage as well. The beginning of the calendar year in medieval England is based on the Juliana calendar, was taken to start on the incarnation of Jesus, or 9 months before Christmas on December the 25th. Therefore, the months of January remaining within the previous year, i.e. 1606, the number of contemporary inscriptions in village churches around the Bristol Channel memorise the flood this way. However, there is a general move in Europe to follow the Gregorian calendar in the 16th century, wherein January the 1st was the start of the year, and by 1607 it became accepted norm in London. Therefore, more modern people in London were documenting the floods of 1607 as a year of occurrence. Well, that's undecided then. Jesus, guys. So this is what we're looking at. We're looking at an unestimated, basically a hidden event, as hidden as the New Madrid event, which I've asked a lot of people about lately in the scene. Still, a lot of people not knowing about New Madrid, guys. If you don't know about it, I'd look into it if I were you. So the swell, a tsunami, and a surge, not knowing where it came from, travelled from the west up the Bristol Channel, flooding everything in this area, killing thousands, killing livestock, taking a generation to recover. Now you can add a PDF to this. Flooding is known to extended along more than 400 kilometres of the northern and southern coasts of the Bristol Channel, up the Severn estuary as far as Gloucester. Was it now? County boundaries. In 1607, flood seriously affected 4 separate areas of the Bristol Channel. A summary account of the extent of the flooding exists in all areas except the coast of southwest Wales. As there was no census before 1607, guys. Isn't that interesting? The population living in the flooded area are drowned, because this is just the whole population here, guys. There's no census. How can they possibly estimate the number of deaths? Yeah, exceeded 2,000 are not known, right? And the records are scattered and altered by ships. So we don't pinpoint this event properly, guys. I'm telling you now, this was bigger. This was bigger than the Bristol Channel. This was highly significant event. Now, because there's so much stuff I need to go through, I'm not going to read all of this PDF because it's very expansive, okay? But what I will tell you about is circumstances, what it was like on the ground, few accounts, costs, damages, etc. So what it will paint is a picture of Britain being crippled, uninhabitable, because of a massive tsunami, like a Banda Hachi-sized tsunami, even bigger than that, guys. Even bigger than that, which everyone started to leave the country. They started to go to the New World. An earthquake-induced tsunami. Over 500 years ago, the largest earthquake to have occurred. Thank you, new subscriber. To occurred in the region around the British Isles had the surface wave magnitude of a 5.5. The earthquake occurred in 1931 in the middle of the North Sea. As the undulation of the ground motion, it very slowly moved northwestern Europe. The earthquake was felt strongly in all the countries that ringed the North Sea and caused minor damage along the east coast of England, Yorkshire, Norfolk. The quake, however, was still far too small to have generated a tsunami. Okay, but they do tell you in this. So there's more earthquake evidence. Now, this, I'm going to be carrying on with more of the events, guys, as we go through the story. But what I'm going to need to do is get to some of the juice. So we're going to skip through now, right? Now, this Welsh tsunami, excuse me. Just check you're all right in chat. Hi, Wise Up. Hey, Nettie. Hi, my peeps. Good to see you, brothers and sisters. Actually, awesome. So it's not as well documented as you'd like. You go on YouTube, there's only 2 videos and they're both mine. The evidence on the ground is limited into ancient parish records, and there's no census before 1607. So we don't know many people there are, and they bring in a brand new Bible, a brand new everything, a new language, and a new way of life, a new everything, all at this date. All at this date. And there's a massive event, underestimated and kept out of the British narrative, not taught about in schools, not spoken about in schools. And there it is. This plaque here is in a local church, but it's got the 1609, and this one says 1606. Now, that's 3 years difference, guys. So where are we? So that's a later event, which I'm going to touch upon later. So now, back a month ago, there was a small earthquake storm triggered off in this area of Swansea, just up by here, and it was also registered in France, and it was also registered in the Pyrenees between France and Spain. So it was a few of them which triggered off. Now, was it caused by fracking or exploding in a mine 3 miles east of Aberfan? I don't know. But one thing's for sure, we are not free of seismic activity. The Glastonbury Tor, I don't know whether you know Glastonbury Tor, it's a church on top of a hillock, which looks like well, they say it's a natural formation, but I swear it's a pyramid. Now, the Glastonbury Tor, they say you're not to go up there. They also say that the rest of the church was taken out in an earthquake. So that was the area they say inundated, where I am now. But to go that far and inundated when all of this is very high above sea level, it's the Welsh Valleys, tells me that it was a lot more this side too, because this is all like Somerset Downs and the rest, which would have been inundated if the valleys were. So incredible. I reckon it was bigger. I reckon they had to put it in the narrative, but they couldn't make it as big as it was, because then it's painting a picture. Did it redefine our reality? And then you find out, whoa, What? They shifted the calendar, rewrote the Bible, and invented a language all exactly the same time? Wow, well, that got to be a coincidence, does it not? So let's move on. Now, that my story starts. Now, bear in mind, 1607 has been a large event. Now in Holland, they are rewriting history. This is a link I'm not going to read into because it's quite a lot of it, but what it will tell you is as many clues as you need to tell you that the history goes through these people. It's translated not exactly, okay? It's done in one specific stylized way, okay? So they're religious context for different groups as well, different mindsets of God. Some of it seems like a religious extremism when you read it, but they got hold of all of the literature and it goes through these people. Believe it or not, it's true. Okay. The evidence is in there. I'll give you the links. Okay. They translate ancient texts and languages, guys. Okay. Like the travels of Marco Polo. Anything of significance to our narrative goes through these people. Okay. And that includes the lead Van der Haar atlases, which was sat in Holland from 1733, the very year of the death of Van der Haar, the maker of the atlases. They get snapped up. They end up in one of these Mennonite churches in Holland, in the possession of these rewriters. So what do they do exactly to these atlases? They show torture and mass murder and the worst sort of torture you can imagine every single place they go. It shows they turn up and everything turns to shit. Do you think they'd want that out there, guys? Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of really famous collectors of this sort of stuff out there, guys, and they certainly want these atlases. They certainly want these atlases. In my mind, I think, they show the real story because if you're looking into alternative history, you'll know that Asia, the greater part of Asia was the greater Tartaria state. How far did it span? Well, it was one civilization, plain white, guys, plain white, and they were, as you'll see, if up to God I can show you a bit of this atlas. If not, I'll put it in the description. Check it out for yourself. It shows flying mothmen. It shows giants being escorted and treated really well. Giants in court with the royals or the notables, the nobles, giants, guys. So is it what has been put to me many times? Well, this is fantasy, isn't it? Oh, is it? It's fantasy, is it? Well, what I show you, if I get to, I'll put in a description box. Well, I don't think that's fantasy because the evidence of what we know of history, as in the East India Company and what they did get up to, and the real story, I think, is itching fucking through. And a story of pushing a globe on races and torturing them into it is what it's showing. Gifting up the people in charge, appealing to their weaker natures by offering them shit. And they do, guys. Ships full of stuff. But in the front of all that stuff is a big fucking globe. Shit you not, guys. That's 1733. And I'm going to move on. So this is evidence for the rewrite. And they will say that it's been changed. They change history. They change history. Okay? I'll put a link. Read it for yourself. It's all about the translation, guys. Now, we're going to move on. After the storms of 1607, short time later, 1620, the very famous Mayflower. The Mayflower. It's got to be the most famous ship on Earth. Unfortunately, when you research the ship itself, there's two different versions. There's the one that's lightly armed, and there's the other one that's got big fuck off gun deck to do some serious damage. And they're saying to pirates, not with that armament, guys, and not with the mercenary army. It doesn't make no sense. They are going to cause carnage, dish out plague blankets, and suppress and torture the race that they're going to visit like they do everywhere they go. The Mayflower was an English ship that famously transported the first English Puritans, known today as the Pilgrims, from Plymouth, England, to the New World in 1620. Or is it? because what we just found out about the calendar shift, when's that really? 1617. Curious. There are 102 passengers, and the crew is estimated to have about 30, but the exact number isn't known. Okay, so they would be the mercenary soldiers. This voyage has become a cultural icon in the history of the United States, with this story of death and survival in harsh New England winter environment. Culmination of the voyage was the signing of the Mayflower Compact, an event to establish a rudimentary form of democracy within each member contributing to the welfare of the community. There was a second ship named Mayflower and made the London to Plymouth, Massachusetts voyage several times. Now, here she is. She's an old British cargo ship, but she's got a forward forecastle, and an after castle, which is a large building on both ends of the ship, which will make it a rubbish ship for sailing. In fact, a rubbish sailing ship. So it poses the question, why did they sail the most rubbish sailing ship across the Atlantic to the New World? I'll tell you why. Because of the space to hold an army of mercenaries to go and do some damage with, is what they were doing, guys. Now, Thanksgiving, guys, Thanksgiving. They shared their grub with some Indians. I bet that went down well, guys. I bet the real story is a little bit different. I've just got a feeling, guys. Deep down inside me, I just got a feeling. So it goes into the armament and everything else. She's a big ship. She's got 1,500. Where is it? The gun deck, where the passengers resided during the voyage, is a space measuring 50 foot by 25 foot. Dangerous place in conflict. The port and starboard guns. So where's the size of the armament? Basically, it tells you that they've got, oh Jesus, all right, they got a 1,200-pound gun, and they shot a 1.3-pound cannonball a mile. So they were doing what the Vanda Atlas is showing when they went to America. Never mind the nice little innocent puritanical pilgrims, the butter wouldn't melt in their mouth. They had a highly armed ship with a mercenary army, no less, guys. Fact. And that's just on Wiki. What's the real story, guys? It goes deeper, but I need to move on. Okay. The Mayflower. She is differently portrayed. I know there's two of them in different pictures. It shows you a friendlier version, an unestimated gun deck that's just in the arse end. And then you got other pictures where she is really kitted out for action. And I mean really kitted out. An after deck full of huge cannon. Now, what? To take a load of religious people across to settle in America. No, guys, there was more to it. What they were doing, in my mind, is the events of England were so savage because after this really sinister event, sorry, I just got something clear. This really sinister event, I think that they took histories, documentation, and maybe important stuff, to the New World to get it away from England, away from democracy, away from basically Britain, the British powers, because these Puritans, they went away from England. It says in a minute when I go into it, they took something with them, and they went really away from the British sort of craziness, and they took something with them, and this army. Now, am I saying these people were malevolent? I'm not really sure at this stage. Let's see how this goes. Now, the Pilgrims, now connected with Britain, always, but a big connection with the lead atlases. And it's just, guys, I don't believe in coincidences. For my name to be almost this name, for me to have possession of these atlases, for me to research as much as I found out about these and spend as much time obsessing about it as I have, and what I've uncovered about them as I have, to tie in with the Pilgrim Fathers and the starting of the New World, is a bit too much for my mind. It is definitely a definite, guys. This is a clue. and the introduction of this globe nuttiness as well. All ties in perfectly. And forget about prehistory. It's bullshit, guys. It's fucking bullshit. They're at it again with Stonehenge. They're trying to give it age. They're trying to say it's megalithic. Why is that? Have you seen the news? It's making me want to puke. They're trying to say it's fucking old. They're trying to say it's megalithic. Anyway, the Pilgrim story is an adventure that has become the best known in American Dutch heritage. The Pilgrims, fleeing religious persecution in England, found refuge in Leiden, in the Netherlands, before they emigrated in 1620, or so they say, on the Mayflower to America, where they established the Plymouth colony, the first sustained English settlement in New England. The stirring story of their migration, their years of exile in Holland, and the early years of their colony is told by the Governor William Bradford in his memoirs. The Plymouth Plantation, which many consider to be the first monument in American literature, the well-known Mayflower Compact, drawn up by the Pilgrims on board the ship to serve as the basis of their future legal and social organization, is early example of social contract. It is heralded by John Quincy Adams, which I've got a photo of, believe it or not, guys. Yeah, no. It's a forerunner of ideal development constitution in the United States of America. Now, oh, that just killed my volume. So they're on the Mayflower, they write up a constitution, and they've taken a load of rewritten history with them. Isn't that weird? Oh yeah, there's a guy on there, he's a cartographer, and he's from Leiden, and he's taken a load of books to reintroduce a new narrative to reality, believe it or not. All on here, and all like tied into the lead atlases, believe it or not. So lead atlases 1733, so approximately 100 years after these accounts. Is it safe to assume that's his great-grandfather and he's keeping this shit going? I'm not sure. It's all about 19th century, the virtuous example of a proud pioneering spirit. The Pilgrims have entered the American imagination. And well, maybe that's sinister. You know the way they work things, guys. As have no other colonists. Yeah, what about Roanoke? Anybody know about Roanoke? Look into Roanoke, guys. They colonized. Do you know what happened to them? No, no one does. They went missing. You go to the colony a year later, the population have vanished. It's like the Mary Celeste, guys. Cups still on the tables, guys. Food still in the pots. So where did the population of Roanoke disappear to? Well, they say local Indians may have eaten them. Now, this guy here, William Brewster, I've researched him. What do you think he does, William Brewster? Well, he's into publications of books forbidden in England. So I'll carry on. Now, Thanksgiving's Day, this commemorates the Pilgrims' Harvest Feast in 1621, where the colonists sat down peacefully with the Native Americans. What? 1 year in, and they've made up and they're all chummy with the Native Americans with a big fuck off gunship and cannons and everything and guns. Wow. Wow, that's going away from the way things usually are. The way we study things, isn't it? Goodly neighbours. Thanksgiving, a bounteous creation for the continued preservation through times of hardship. While in Leiden, the Pilgrims were active in their wide range of manufacturing occupations. Now, William Brewster, the leading layman of the congregation, operated a clandestine press to publish books forbidden in England. Like the lead atlases, guys. It's the fucking truth. I'm telling you, these atlases are fucking real. This is why these Americans want them. These are why they're being bumped off. This is why they're fucking priceless. They show real history. And this one I go, well, no, it's showing the eradication of Tartaria. They go up, they're trying to push a globe on them. They butter up the boss, and he goes fucking killing his native population and torturing them publicly. It's fucking horrendous. This is a juicy fucking clue. William Brewster. He's on the fucking Mayflower, guys. Out of Leiden with the rewritten history. He's a clandestine publisher. The Minster, John Robinson, I've researched him too, was a participant in Leeds University's theological disputes, whose political implications were to split the nation and contribute to Prince Marius's military coup of 1618. The Pilgrims were also in close contact with French-speaking Calvinist refugees. There's a big clue here too with the Calvinists, guys. It just goes so deep, this shit. But I don't want to go too much because it's too much to read, and I want to pack it in by like 11 o'clock because Patricia is interviewing Russian vids. I fucking love those guys. Okay, so that's going to happen. So um, this the Calvinist distance from the State Church of England, the Anglican Church. Many lived in England near Screwdry, a farming village in Northamptonshire, Nottinghamshire, where they organised the Congregation under a Reverend Richard Clifford. Now, I don't want to go on, guys, but it would look, when you read this, you will find out that Brewster has conspired with this Reverend. They've shipped out literature and they are hiding real history from the English. Okay, the Brownists, I read into them too. All exactly the same mentality. It's away from Western. They can see basically what's happening with the play. These guys are not all right. They're not bad guys. These are all right guys. Okay, they've taken the literature and they've shipped it to the New World, where it's probably today. Okay, this globe lie is not 500-year-old at all. It's less. This started at this period, 1607. The rewrite after a massive event. Now we're going to move on. Oh, no, not that one. Excuse me. Now I looked into the Scrooge Congregation. It's very complicated. But if you think of it in the context of Catholics and Protestants and different religious sects trying to win power over information, history, guys, all the Mayflower and all of the people, as far as I can see, are to do with the rewriting and the restructuring of a society that's been devastated after a massive event, guys. They had to hold up the fucking fleet, the Mayflower, because of the event of 1607, guys. It was like big. Years and years later, guys, everything was fucked. All ports, gone. Everything was gone. We took generations to recover. The history they told you is bullshit. So the links between Leiden and all of the people on the Mayflower is too much for me to ignore. And this guy, Brewster, who's a publisher, and he ships out documents away from the English and he takes them on the Mayflower. It's incredible. No, oh, excuse me. Get that back there. That doesn't need to be there. So I looked into this guy, John Robinson. Now, historical marker, the memory of John Robinson, and it's basically in Leiden in Holland. Bit of a date thing going on there. It says 1625. We got anything else? No. There was, but it's not going to do it. Oh, there you are. So plaques to commemorate anything to do with Leiden and Robinson. And the history rewriters, guys. The translators of our reality, and they even bring Shakespeare into it. We've done there, guys. He was done there. I'm telling you, he was done there. Yeah, the English guys are at Cambridge and Oxford doing it there. All of this narrative has been given to us. All starts, all gets rewritten around this time in my mind, really. So this is Peter van der Haar. He dies 1733 on the arrival of the atlases, the publishing date, or when they're completed, when they're dated. He dies, I guess. It doesn't actually say how he dies, it just says that's his date of the death. So he's really famous, is Van der Haar. He does absolutely exquisite maps of all his travels, and he's very famous for animals and fauna. And I've got this atlas. This is the one of Goa, where he'll show you an alternative history. Arriving in foreign lands and what goes down in reality. He'll show you evidence for an event, and in the landscape, things smashed, like relatively recent. Now, to me, I look at Venice. I've been there. I've been to a port called Chioggia, which is not far from here, and I've been all around the Rialto there, all over this area. I think she wasn't always flooded and canals, because I've seen one of these canals pumped out with water. The buildings go right down to like a floor, a foundation. I think this thing once was not inundated with water. I think this was built. It is on an island, but I think it was more expansive. I think this is something to do with the event, because it's so focused upon. And let's think about the merchants of Venice with Shakespeare. This thing, Venice, is well wrote into the narrative, guys. We move on. Like I said, guys, I put all the links to whatever I got in the descriptions. You can follow some of this story yourself. So, with what I'm showing you of the Pilgrim Fathers, the leading atlases, this guy called Brewster, who's taken English literature away from them and a rewritten history and an army of mercenaries and a highly armed gunship all the way to America to set up a colony in the New World after events in Britain around 1607, the year of the John Speed maps, where it shows on my local map, which I'll show you in a minute, that the one church is demolished, a large church called St Mary's, yet 2 streets away. The church I went visiting back in the summer still stands. So something really dodgy with the events of this tsunami. And I can't get my head around it, why it is so understated when it is so massive. Now, this is a Jesuit pamphlet of their interaction with Tartaria or China, which is Tartaria at the time. And as you can see, they are indeed Jesuits, and he looks like Loyola, Ignatius Loyola. In fact, he's a double because he's got exactly the same face. So it might be actually. So let's have a look. So it's an early book, as you can see, and it's showing the takeover. Oh, is it Loyola? Oh, that's a different dude, but a Jesuit nevertheless. The Society of Jesus. And their visits to China, where they document and they take details for who? The Inquisition? No, man. These guys, they will pose as any denomination, but they will always be the one boss. And here they are, introducing this to an unsuspecting population in Tartaria. And this is how they pretty much live in not really large obelisky buildings at this stage. It's very tenty, but beautiful nevertheless. And they are the society you think they are. They are really sorted. They seem like a nice people until we come along, or the Dutch, and this anomalous fleet with a black flag and a weird symbol on it I don't recognize. And this all happens following the events of 1607 or 1609, we can make our minds up, the Pilgrim Fathers, the colonization of America, all on a rewritten Dutch fake narrative. So what's the real narrative? Well, is it a possibility that a guy named Leiden or Brewster at a Leiden University who takes maps and publications of maps. I think they're connected to, I think it's his grandson. I think it's the grandfather of Leiden. So I believe the lead atlases because his father or his grandfather took publications away from the English, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. So we're going to move on. But this is what you're going to get a lot of. Now, this orb, now, is that a giant pearl? A gift as a giant pearl? Well, this ball I see in all lead atlases. They give it to a ruler, and anyone who comes in contact with it after falls to the floor, vomiting and puking. That's the evidence in the atlases. This ball ain't good for your health. Okay, so this is as I said, Tartaria, but we're going to move on. So we got a nasty ass globe on the wall and a nasty ass Jesuit pushing his weird stuff. This is what I want to show you. Now, this thing here, it's got a cat face, it's got a pair of titties, it's got bat wings. Now, the weird thing about that, I've never seen it before in my life, guys, right? I find it in an atlas, random as shit this yesterday. I went through another atlas, and these turn up again, like they're alive. Exactly the same ones, guys. Mothman or Mothcatman. Really, really weird. So I should fucking never see one before in my life and discover two right at the other ends of the internet. Same day, guys. It's really fucking weird. Right, let's have a look at the old Jesuit ass. What's he up to? Oh, yeah, spinning his fucking globe bullshit and turning everything into metacism and what's in the sky. Helio nonsense, is it? Yeah, helio voodoo, like we haven't worked it out. What's going on? Okay, well, I'll put a link into there. I'm sure you can enjoy it, but I've got too much to show you guys. Much too much. And I want to check on you. As you can see, they have fine silks, and they are not in the shit. Bring out your dead. Okay, they're looking good. But you can see it's the Jesuits in the background. Okay. And where they go? The suppression of humanity and control. But we'll have a look at that now. Let me just check on you guys a minute. I'll have a drinkies. Everybody okay? Just I'm asking. Aboriginals associate with the Dark Ones with death. Yeah. Death. What's that? What is that? Reflections of dreams? Who knows? Very strange. Very strange. We might die and wake up. The fuck knows? So let's not think about things like that. I think it could be a very exciting thing. I was thinking. Right, let's have a look. Considering check these out, right? You get a lot of this, guys. You get a lot of idols that are really freaky dudes. So are they just statues? Or did they ever exist? Check Plant Man, Plant Sun Man. Wow. They might have just made that up by a bit of cardboard and stuck it up. Oh, I like that. I don't know what it's showing. What we got here? Oh, yeah. Check it out. We have some knowledge. So are they acupuncture points? Or well, it's definitely something to do with healing. Interesting. What else we got? Oh yes, the many-handed Brahma. You can spin a knife like a chainsaw. Don't want to mess with it. Well, I don't think much of this artist, guys, but they are ancient texts after all. What are you going to do? What does show in these this atlas that I've been going through, hopefully I can get to show you, is that's one I want to see. Is it says ancient ceremony, and what they're trying to do is fly a flying carpet. Believe it or not, it's awesome. Now look at these hillocks on top of every hill. What if that was all one level once, but everything dropped away? Who knows? What about him? Well, he's a dude, isn't he? Idlem. Effie. It's the Effie. Idlem Effie, guys. Whoa. Idlem Effie, eh? Oh, look at her. Cut into the rock. Wow. That is so cool. Where else we go? All right, then. Oh, what's that? Well, one thing's for sure. They always show weirdness. So what is that? A dam? There's no dam there, is there? It's a wave coming through, isn't it? Not actually sure. Okay. Very nice monuments. Okay, we're moving on, guys. This is too... Oh, fuck me. What was that? Oh, sorry about my language. God, so classy. Anyway, we're moving on. So I've done some fair bit of research into the makers of this map, or these pictures. You just looking at, and there he is, Pierre van der Haar. Very interesting chappie. He lived. Well, there you are. Pierre de van der Haar was Dutch publisher and printer. He was best known for his cartographical work and was produced a high range of pirated copies of foreign bestsellers. He entered the Booksellers Guild in Leiden in 1677 and started his own business in 1683. By 1694, he had printed the Leiden University, and by 1715, he was appointed the official printer for the town of Leiden. And as I said, guys, these atlases I'll be showing were 18 years after that. So he was getting on a bit, but that's why he died in 1733 then. Van der Haar did not in general produce his own maps, but he had a distinctive and elegant style. Yeah, I spotted it. And his work was highly sought after. He also sustained beneficial working relationship with foreign booksellers like Thomas Bennett in England. He helped him to sell the stock. He produced a series of atlases and collections of voyages composed of plates acquired from other cartographers. These are the ones I got, guys. His collection, his career culminated in publishing of illustrations atlases of the world, the largest books and prints ever published. Okay. 3,000 plates of native peoples, architecture, and history from around the world, and was issued in an astonishing 66 parts. Well, I don't like that number. Most of the plates were of other contemporary publishers, which van der Haar was added signature broad decorative patterns, okay, and completed a copy of gallery, cost the equivalent to the master's craftsman's actual annual salary. So there they are. The books with absolute fortune. I have looked online at the price of them. They are like in the tens of thousands. But this one here is Tomb Premier de China and Grand Tartaria. So we're lucky enough. We got it. And that one's worth a lot of money. So we're lucky. So I'm going to check on you before we take a look at it. In fact, I'm going to come back for a sec. Take a break for a minute. Ferriby. Sounds all right. Hi, guys. I'm getting back on and off. Whew. I wasn't even in a reading mood. God, my mouth's falling off. So, guys, how are you? Anybody here actually here? Yes, yes. Cool, cool, cool. What's that? 66 people. I don't like that number. Could somebody go and get somebody else? Thanks for visiting on Saturday, guys. I don't know what's happening. There's been some excellent videos. Like I said, I got 45 minutes, so we're going to have a look at some of this weird stuff. Hopefully, I'm not glitching up too much. So, what's happening on the scene? Just watched Pikachu's video about an hour ago concerning microwave attacks on individuals. Now, this guy on his video, well believable, guys, was into microwaves in the 50s. An English bloke. They kept him on the military to expand on his research. He says that all them women, I was going to go there, green and common women, back in the days, in the 80s, these loads of women that didn't like men, went to green and common. That was the reason I didn't go there. I was in CND. I didn't want to go there. I didn't like men. they wanted to propose make-believe cruise missiles. You know, the missiles none of us have ever seen. Them ones. They wanted to protest them, and apparently the American military bombarded them with a certain frequency of microwave radiation. And they all got really ill and died. Not immediately, later on. Now, according to this guy, they did this experiment on the entire American population and killed fucking millions with cancers and leukemias. All good news, because basically you got to pay for operations in America. Kaching. Would you believe it, guys? They're mass murdering and doing experiments on their own people. If you feel like this is why I can't be bothered with trolls and bullshit, I see it as a fucking war. If they can experiment on you or fuck with your mind, you do anything with you. Send you to your fucking death for them. If you don't go, they'll shoot you up, you're in jail. Times of war. Think I'm making it up? I ain't, guys. These have not got your best interests at hand. Don't want to keep on, but the penny will drop shortly. I'll make it drop. Okay, I'll show you exactly what these are on like and what they go like on us. All right? Gotta trust the creator, guys. The more we turn our backs on him, the worse it's gonna be. I'm telling you now, we gotta bring more people back to the fold. I wish my voice was heard more, but I'm not like they're not gonna want that. I'm exactly the opposite in like what they want. They want chaos and they want like division and disharmony, and I want exactly the opposite on harmony and peace. That's what I want, and an equal opportunity for all. I don't see why half should have to starve and half should have too fucking much. Okay, all gotta stop. It's stupid. All of it. Sportsmen being paid oogles of money. Give them £100 a week. Turn the fuck off. We only spend it on prostitutes and cocaine anyway. Who else? Pop stars. They can fuck off. Take all their money. Give it to poor people. Who else? We only play music. Minstrels used to be fucking free to do it and be happy to bliss people out with their music. Never mind, charge £100 a ticket to blast your head with, subliminals like fucking U2. I've been listening to like 432 gigahertz music at night. I listened to a few hours last night, but like Lee, my good friend Lee, Fat British Sub, please sub to Fat British Sub because he's the best thing since sliced bread, as you all know. He was saying like that it made him a bit like me as well. Basically, lack of concentration. It leaves you all clear thinking. It's nice. It's just like I operate better when I'm in like NAM mode. Do you know what I mean? Like Vietnam mode. I'm always better like that. Okay, battle mode. That's when I basically become my best. I don't like to become complacent, laid back. It's no fucking good. You don't get nothing done. I'll be on the edge. I carry on. Now, hopefully this will be okay. We got 45 minutes because, as I said, Nick Research, sub him. Martin works like Martin has tonight. Now, Nick Research, I contacted him back a couple of months ago. I said, I love you for your work, Nick. Do you want to come on my show and have a talk on my show? Because I fucking love your stuff. And he said, no, I don't really like the public and it's a lot of people, so he didn't bother. But it's up to him because I think his stuff is shit art and I think this guy got a lot to offer to this whole thing. Okay? Really. Anyways, all hail. All hail, Wiser. Epic. So, another quick splicky. It's Saturday night after all. I don't know what's happening on the scene, guys. I haven't really been looking. I've been looking forward to Russian vids because I know it. 953 subs, now 954. Huh? Who's asking? Not me. I got like what happened? I downloaded all my videos, or a lot of them, on that computer. It's conked out, as in it's not working. And all my videos are locked in there, so I've been like desperately downloading all my videos in case my channel should disappear Tuesday. It might, and then what I'll do is start all over again on this channel and get a backup channel because I'm not quitting. If I lose my subs, I lose my subs. Start all over. It doesn't matter. I got you guys. It's all that's important. Now, John Speed. Okay. Cartographer for fake ass Tudors, as in Elizabeth I, as in John Dee, as in all of them, as in Shakespeare, as in social engineering bullshit. I just showed you guys. Fucking Shakespeare was made in Holland, guys. Holland. Cardiff is shown on here. And it's got, this map is made in 1606. And it shows that the year before the tsunami, the year before the calendar shifts, the year before the introduction of the King James Bible, the year of a language being given to a people, the year of it all. There's a church on here, huge church called St Mary's, that's demolished by the tsunami. But one just up the road, St John's, I take you in where I interviewed that really fucking annoying vicar last summer. Yeah. Now, how did the one stay and the other one not? Is it because they put the outline of a church in the side of a Victorian building called the Philharmonic Theatre that was built in the 1800s? Are they trying to red herring us with the events? Because there's something that's just not fitting. The size of the event of 1607 is a definite, guys. This was as big as New Madrid in my mind. But and I'm getting out and basically taking information and going to America. This is nothing like we thought it was, guys. I've got all the information, but this is definite. This is definite clue. Okay, definite, and it all. The globe is fucking closely tied into it. The way that they socially engineer it's all going to become apparent by the end of my story. This is just the introduction in a book. This will be the book. Okay, I haven't written it because basically I haven't had time, but I will. I've been collecting ancient languages for future reference and all ancient languages. Okay. And important bits to the story, but it's called Greatest Story Never Told. I don't know it all yet. So let's get underway. I'm gonna hopefully this is gonna be okay. Hiya Law. How's it going, love? Peeps, how do you fancy tag lads? Fancy that tag lads? Are you on about my flat of British thing? Hi Forest, I thought about you earlier because I seen a lorry or a van and it went past and it said Flat Forest. And I thought, oh fucking hell, I know Flat Forest. It's weird. No, really. Later on then, I keep doing this thing where I keep like, oh why? God, you know, it's supposed to be working out differently. You're like, what's going on? Like, and I'm not supposed to really question God. Like, I've got faith or I haven't. So I think, oh no, I want a sign. And then I go like that and I look up and there's a car or a van parked in the drive and it says ML signs on the front. I've seen the van before, but when I think that, when I look up, it's got my initials and it says sign, and I ask for a sign and it's got my initials. Do you think that's just like a coincidence? Or a squillion to one? It's a squillion to one, yeah. So I'm going to carry on. This is the last bit of the vlog because, as I said, time is getting on and I want to go and see Russian vids because he's epic and he hasn't been around for a while. And it's going to be an historical FE moment for us all. So I'm going to share, hopefully, a lead atlas. Now, what a bit, because there's a lot of it. It takes up some processing to load the pages. So my volume will go to shit. So I'm going to talk as little as possible. When I freeze the image, then I'll talk, then it won't glitch. Okay? Hopefully. Right. Happy Flatter Day, by the way. Many happy Flatter Days. It's fucking epic, isn't it, guys? I know. So, now the evidence of the lead atlas is showing you an alternative history. This one is what happens when the Dutch and the anomalous army, okay, turn up to basically bring gifts to Tatians and see what goes down. Now, it's the usual scenario, butchering them up, giving them gifts, and then the boss or the local noble sells out to them and then they get busy on the natives. Nasty time. I mean, fucking eat them. Now, why they gotta eat them? I don't know. Or giants, mothmen, and gods, and whale dicks. So enjoy. Now, as I said, I can't talk too much, but what you see in here is the entry of a Dutch ambassador into Peking. Okay, there he is with his entourage coming into Peking bearing gifts. Okay, now. Ambassador. Not a feeling about that. Give me a second, please, people. As I said, processing of this is nasty. Come on. Oh, well, that is great. There you go. So I'm going to whiz through, guys, because I want to get to the juicy bit. So the story is the Dutch come to China with the Tartars, this part of Tartaria, and they get nasty. Okay. So they go to bring goods to the local noble. Okay. The boss. Double dragons. There he is in his throne, and all of the people of the court. And what are they bringing? Well, some Christine Dior, obviously. Oh, a globe. And he don't like the look of that. He's looking down at it, guys. Look, he's looking down and looking at that. And he don't like it. Okay? They're bringing the globe to this guy and a load of gifts. They're introducing a globe. And these wobbly things here again. Okay, they keep showing up. We move on. Hopefully everything's okay. Well, actually, I'll check on my tablet. So there it is, the nasty little offender again. Turns my stomach every time I fucking see one. The globe. So they're taking it out into the forecourt, unpacking all the new goods of the Dutch and that anomalous army. 2 seconds, guys. I'm just checking on here on my other thing. Okay. If you talk, I can see you guys. Ball worship. In fact, yes, you can see this happening in a minute. Now, the court, okay, they have a big, nice meal. Nothing too sinister happened in the festive imperial Peking, but a few developments. So what's happening? Ambassadors come, pushing the globe, loads of gifts, big meal. King's happy with his new arrivals. King's happy with his new arrivals, okay? So massive big carnival, like the Lord Mayor's parade, a parade, okay? Now, return of Wobbly Horn. We love Wobbly Horn, don't we? So they worship Wobbly Horn. So what we got here is the Festival of Magnificence, and these a lot of Dutch people and all confectionaries, alcohol, loads of what looks like Farquhar or something. You see him farming Farquhar later. I hate that shit. Disgusting. So it's the festival of excellence, but nothing happening except for the wobbly thing that keeps showing up in antiquity in Tartaria. So they're just examples of people, females, nothing much going on just yet. Okay, we got here. So that's Tartiers. That's their skills. So they're showing you what the Tartars do. What about these guys here, guys? Habits of femmes of Tartian, Oriental Tartians. So this is what women look like from Tartaria. Women. Does she look Oriental? Does he look Oriental? Maybe looks a bit Oriental, but they don't look Oriental, and they are Tartians. Lady Tartians. And here's their fellas, the Tartians. So they live in tents, a bit like Mongols and what have you. They haven't got big structures, but they got nice shit. So there they are, a society that got wiped out. So everything's thundering along at this stage, guys. Okay. You know, ambassadors come. We've had the parade. Paid off the boss. Come on, you bastard. Takes a bit of time to load these. And they show you headwears of Tartias. There's really unusual ones on here. There's that, like a Moses hat. We got like a German Nazi hat. We got... We got some weird stuff going on here. The Tartias, though, they're kitted out, guys. You give them that. Yeah. Not bad. Clobber. Jester's hat. Okay. So it starts to get a bit weird. I think the payoff has come along, like, because here's one of the Tartian bosses, and what's happening? He's overlooking the usual thing going on in the background. Collection of human beings to pretty similar type of torture every time. Okay. It'll get more frequent as the book goes on, as it always does. And a nice little battle. Oh, a battle bison, guys. They were bovine battle bovine, guys. Whoa. So they come in first. Fuck me, they're not flames coming out of them, guys. They got rockets. They got Katusha balls, guys. They got Katusha balls. Fucking see it enough. Must be amazing. Katusha balls. Yeah. Awesome battle. Anyway. Oh, so I wonder who built that. I wonder who built that up there then. This is pre-1700s. Van der Haar in his former, Peter Van der Haar in his younger years. Come on, you bastard. Bear with me, people. They do take a bit of a time to load because, as I said, it takes processing power. Okay, their weaponry. So you got a wicked back scratcher. I wouldn't scratch your back with that one, though, guys, if I were you, all right? What else we got? So that's their weaponry, looking like weird. And their other stuff. Marquis of Mandarin stuff. Okay, the Mandarins. No. These are awesome. Let me just check on you guys. I know, I hate to know that I wasn't coming through. Okay. So what we got here is the giants. Okay. Either side, guarding as you get. Somebody write in chat, say I'm coming through all right, because I can't. Yeah, there you are. No, I played Worms Armageddon Square. I like Fallout. I'm a bit of a Fallout fan. Lauren Olken on this end, it's blue privilege of banning shills. Yes, you do, Wiser. Now, giants. I thought they might have been statues, first of all, these blokes here, but they're not statues because this giant, guard, is looking at this giant guard. The giants guarding the boss. And he's there. See the boss? Yeah, you got gods too, yeah? And he's got the wobbly things that they worship. I think they might be whale knobs. I don't know. We might get to that. I don't think that's important to the story, though. Okay? The whale knob bit. So, they're giants, aren't they? And they're not statues, are they? Because they're blokes, aren't they? Looking at one another like, what's going on here then? You don't know. So, Justice of the Abyssinians. Oh, so glad they have a hell of a time. There they are. Poor old Abyssinians gonna get brutalized, bringing them to the boss. And as per usual, things don't turn out too well. So let's have a look what kind of things, what kind of nice things the Dutch bring with them. Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Ah, right. So it ain't a good time, is it? They're not really bringing love, are they? You know, 1 minute they're all having a great time. Next minute, after all of the activities, things go downhill. And they always do, guys. But I think they buy the bosses. Hang on. Oh, okay. So that don't look too good, do it? And look at them, ready for the next one. Like, so this is what they're doing. Dishing out justice. I'm sure he really deserved it. He probably done something really bad. Maybe he was in possession of hair or something. Maybe he stepped on a crack in the pavement. So what we got? Funeral pump and mourning coat. Lovely. So here we got a funeral. Oh yeah, VR goggles back in the day, guys. Virtual reality, eh? Something that I've yet to have a go at. Virtual reality, but it's all game related, and I'm old and I can't fucking hate games, so that ain't gonna happen. And whatever, practical applications are there to virtual reality, guys? Fucking gaming, isn't it? What else is there? I don't know. Guys. Funeral of the great people in Peking. All the people? Let's hope not. Yeah, I knew it'd go to shit, guys. There you are. So it's a big funeral procession. And what they got? Okay. So they worship the dragon, and they got a elephant eating a hog, or holding a hog. A weird man with many hands, sitting on a don't know, being carried. This man who is being carried by his feet, so he's not real, or he is real, and he's levitating. So they're having a weird long procession. Okay, funeral procession because they're weird. So rhinoceroses. So they go into animals, guys. All right, we'll have a little look, but we're gonna move on because of this thing. Yeah, it's fucking unreal. Wise up. What do you reckon on that? Woohoo! I don't know, mate. They're all going into a mountain. The procession, a funeral procession, goes through into like a mausoleum opening, up a staircase, and through a big hole into the mountain. A mountain. They're burying him in a mountain. There's a lot of pyramids in China, though, isn't there? Tiger, an elephant in China, camels, and a rhinoceros, of course. So I won't keep it much longer, guys, because in 20 minutes I'm tipping off, as I said. So more amylage. Okay. You can experience the animals of Africa. Okay. Some strange animals are going to show up in a minute. I think they exist, these moths. Oh, whale. Right. This is where we identify the wobbly thing. Oh, it's not the same. See this thing here? I thought that was the whale knob. Is that what they're worshipping? I think it might be. Don't know. It's horrible, isn't it? Whale oil beef hooked. Whale oil beef hooked. Well oil beef hooked. Well oil beef hooked. Well oil beef hooked. Haha. Okay. Fucking pain in the ass, these are. Come on, you class. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to be cutting out now in a minute. It looks like it's dying a death any fucking way. Excuse my language. I keep getting told off. Somebody said I'm really, really common. So I don't toe the party line. Yeah? I'm afraid that's never going to happen. Like, ever. There they are, guys. Check them off, man. Yeah? Like them. Woohoo! Do they exist? They got like a cat face. I just seen them in another book. Not even related, found them both. They're called Reptilinos chiminifes. And they got cat faces. And they're not bats. No, they're not bats because they're huge. They live in coffee trees. Big coffee trees. One thing you'll find, apart from an exploded giants, freaky creatures, okay, they have big, big plants. I mean, they're huge. I mean, too big. And this is where they, in a minute, they start to like cook people, and they're making boats there. And there is a bit of a Dutch fleet there or something. We move on. Okay. Looks pyramidy. Oh yeah, what are these? Exhaust ports. She's speedboat. That's not too good. Anyway, there's one in a minute when the Westerners are having a nice meal around the table, but there's all body parts hanging off the tree ready for their diet. Yeah, no. Pluto Tamonon. Okay, so panning. He's panning something there. Okay. Chiseling stuff into stone. Whatever it is, it's fucking sinister. What's he doing there? Anyway, I want to show you this one picture and I'm off, guys, right? It's of Westerners waiting for their dinner. Load of plants, which are absolutely huge, like bigger than people. This is how things really grew. Ananas. Well, I know that's French for pineapple. I know my French. I'm really handy. I know how to get to the station. Tu n'y dois? SNCF, tu n'y dois? Le gars. So loads of egg fruit. Beautiful maps of Tartaria. Why is Nova Zelima so populated? It's well in the Arctic Circle, hasn't got a coastline inner, and it's immensely populated, and it's supposed to be an icy wasteland nobody lives in because it is in the Arctic Circle. So why is Nova Zemlya heavily populated in 1733? Is it warmer? These maps are excellent. And this one is La Grande Tartarie. So everything you see on that map is one people's. Never mind the British Empire. This one was the biggest of what we know this time around. And it's been wiped out. The Mongol of our reality. So Oh, a wine-giving fountain, eh? Wow. I don't like the look of him. I think he's a giant anyway. Anyway, I say giants because it's a lot more fun than not being giants, isn't it? But they are definitely giants because they're big. Oh yeah, it says here ancient ceremonies, right? And what they're doing is they've got some dudes on the carpet. They're all carrying it. I think it's like trying to get it up. I think it's like efforts because he's going. See his hand? He's going like up. Yeah, up. And they're holding a carpet. Yeah, ancient ceremony, flying carpet. Awesome. I might be completely wrong, but I don't think so. Okay. It is 1:45. I want to take a shower. Here it is. So we got Westerners up here in the restaurant, okay, having a nice meal. Okay, there they are. Westerners. He's bringing some stuff to him on a table. There's some people having a nice wash in a bath. No problem there. No problems. And they're cooking stuff there. Okay. Crocodile. No problems. That don't look like crocodile, do it? Nah. They don't look like crocodile. They look like bits of people. They are. So I think their diet may have been locals. So there he is, boss Emperor Tartaria. I don't know what that is there. Alive. Satarish Kiza. I love them pillars. Look at the pillars. And exactly the same Kinesis as the old world. Shows you. And Dragon Age. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I'm coming back. Woohoo! I enjoyed that. They are brilliant. You can have that and have a look at through it. So you stop sharing and come back to you people. I'll be talking 10th of never. I don't know how I done. Thank you. 60 people coming to my second channel. It's bloody brilliant. I'm so happy. Jack Street Dreaming. How's it going, brother? Yeah, it seems like they had no problems with cannibalism in all of these books. Everybody descends into carnage. The moment after the fleet comes in, gives gifts, butters up the boss, and then reaps carnage on the locals. And this is every fucking country from Borneo to Africa to all of Tartaria, which is all of the Asian continent, by the way, or in the late 1600s, after the huge event which restructured Britain, which cleared out a lot of the population, at which they showed you the rich were made poor overnight. So they restructured the whole of society by changing the calendar, the leap years, the Juliana, the Gregorian, as I explained, and added 4 years, the days. So where are we exactly? I couldn't possibly say. There was a later one, 1742. The shift was amalgamated worldwide, plain wide, with the globe, all at the same fucking time, guys. The 1607 rewrite or the right of the, as I showed you, the alterations of a King James Bible, which brings us the English we speak today, with that funny thing going on with the words that we say, the spells, and the very craftily worked out linguistics that we are forced to use, which ain't all that good, the English language. It's not. It's not. The more they want us to do it, I bastardize it at every opportunity. So, thanks for coming by, Wiser. I'm going to go off and watch one rest of it now. I'll put all of that stuff in the description box. I'll show everybody I can. Please sub to everybody you can. Let's keep YouTube moving. Excuse me. Big black thing on my screen. And I'll be back tomorrow to try and elaborate further on the greatest story ever told, because I've only just started it. It starts at 1607, the tsunami, and the Mayflower, 1620, carrying a Brewster, who's from Leiden University, with a load of books and literature that he's got out of the English's hands. Isn't that interesting? And sets up a democracy with the new information. All very intriguing. Oh, a lot more research required. But that's 2 days solid research just to get that little bit. All ties into the lead atlases. So I think because that is probably his grandfather, unless it's a really common language, that one lead collects atlases and his grandfather done exactly the same. No, it's the same fucking people. No, so that gives extra credibility to the content of lead atlases. It's outside and away from the Western powers. Get it? It's why there's such a big fucking thing about them, guys. Why the stink? Why the stink? I'm telling you. So I'm going to fuck off. I'm going to have a relaxation. Over on Patricia Steer's channel in 10 minutes will be a Russian vid. I think it is 11, 6 Central Time is 11, 10 minutes, yeah. So that's where I'm off. Red Cat Dingbat, thank you. Did you enjoy that? Was it okay? Did it come through okay? Was it garbled information and made no sense, or did the narrative actually make some sense? Because that's what I was trying to achieve. Safe, man. Thanks, bro. Patricia Steer, another hot potatoes, Angus. She's got Russian vids. 10 minutes. Yeah, see you there, bro. Not missing that. Fucking Russian vids. Woo! And his channel got taken down, see? So, I'll see what's going on. Might have a new channel. Thanks, Callie McLean. Thanks to all of you anyway for coming by. I will see you soon. I shall come back tomorrow. I'm going to be having a little break soon, but don't worry because information will still be coming out of here. If my other channel gets murdered, okay, 10 minutes, yeah. It's like really good night in the FEC. I love the FEC. I will be back. Okay, Flight of British is not fucking done. Far from it. Okay, guys, far from it. Fascinating. Are you happy, Ray? Still with us? Awesome. A lot of my subs been with me for years now. Years. Like since the summer of 2015, when all of this flat earth awakening started kicking off. Times have changed so much now, guys. There's a lot of new models being brought out, and things are changing. They really are. It's fragmenting. The core of what we were about. It doesn't feel the same anymore. It feels it's being taken away. But I will fight that tooth and nails as long as I possibly can to keep it real, to keep it for the people and not like taken over in any way. Keep the information true as I can anyway. So, like I said, thanks, Hans, for showing me Kirk, for showing me that stupid video. Yeah, I do not respond to trolls. They are so fucking not worth it and doing nothing for humanity. And plus, I wouldn't waste my fucking time. Anyway, ever doing that. I'm not doing that with my life. And I'm not playing the I'll make you a name game on my channel. That ain't going to happen. Ever. That's not what I do. I don't do that. So, peace and love, guys. I'll see you over there. The catalog. Okay, thanks for coming by. You are awesome, guys. Anyway, peace and love. As you know, I love you all. Be good. Okay? Be kind and be good. Peace you.